When Viktor Frankl wrote about love, he was usually writing about romantic love. The passages in Man's Search for Meaning where he describes his wife, imagining her face while marching in the pre-dawn darkness of the camp, feeling her presence as something real and sustaining, are among the most beautiful and heartbreaking in modern psychological writing. Love, for Frankl, was not a pleasant addition to a meaningful life. It was one of its primary engines. But Frankl's description of what love actually does, of the specific act that constitutes love at its most essential, extends far beyond the romantic. And it has something important to say about what friendship, at its best, actually is. He described love as the act of perceiving another person in their full humanity, not merely what they are at this moment, but what they are capable of becoming. Love, in Frankl's sense, sees potential. It encounters the other person as a possibility, not just as a fact. And in being seen this way, the loved person often begins, in some subtle way, to actualize what was seen in them. The perception itself is generative. This is not only what romantic partners do at their best. It is what genuine friends do. A real friend is not someone who simply confirms what you already are. A real friend is someone who holds a version of you that is slightly larger than the one you currently inhabit, and who holds it patiently, without pressure, in the background of every interaction. In their presence, you find yourself slightly more willing to be who you are trying to become. Frankl placed love and friendship within the category he called experiential values, the meaning that comes from receiving what the world has to offer, beauty, truth, goodness, and the encounter with another human being. These values stand alongside the creative values, what you give to the world, and the attitudinal values, the stance you take toward what you cannot change. All three are genuine pathways to meaning. And experiential values remind us that meaning is not only about what you do. It is also about what you receive, and who you allow to matter to you. The existential vacuum, the inner emptiness that Frankl saw as the defining pathology of modern life, is, among other things, a relational condition. People who experience it are often not without acquaintances. They may be socially busy, surrounded by colleagues and family and people who like them on the internet. What they lack is the particular kind of encounter that genuine friendship offers, the sense of being known, not just recognized, of being seen in your specific particularity, not just in the general fact of your existence. Frankl did not romanticize friendship as uncomplicated. He understood that real relationships carry risk, the risk of being truly seen and still found acceptable, which is terrifying, the risk of watching someone you love suffer, which you cannot fully prevent, the risk of loss, which is certain. But he believed this risk was worth taking. More than worth taking, he believed it was one of the things that makes the risk of being alive worthwhile. There is also something Frankl understood about the existential dimension of isolation that is worth naming directly. Loneliness, not solitude, which is something you choose and which can be generative, but genuine loneliness, the sense of being unreachable to others, is not only a painful feeling. It is an existential condition that undermines the sense of meaning. Because meaning, even when it is discovered in the most private interior of the self, is always in some sense directed outward, toward a world that includes other people. The person who has no one who genuinely sees them, no friendship that holds their potential, no relationship of real mutuality. This person is missing something that cannot be compensated for by achievement or consumption or spiritual practice alone. The human being is built for encounter. And encounter, in Frankl's sense, is not casual contact. It is the meeting of two people who have each permitted the other to matter. That permission is not romantic love's exclusive domain. Friendship, at its best, is the same act of seeing, and of daring to be seen in return. Subscribe to the Psychology of Viktor Frankl to explore more of his timeless ideas.